Hello everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. Today we have a quick tutorial on how to use TLS certificates on Kubernetes to secure your application using Traefik and Cloudflare. So as always, I've got detailed documentation which I'll link in the video description below. There are some prerequisites. I've gone ahead and set these up ahead of time just to save some time. You will need a Kubernetes cluster, so any Kubernetes cluster will do. In my case, I've actually used a guide that I had created in a previous video, creating a highly available Kubernetes cluster with kubefip. So if you don't have a Kubernetes cluster and would like to follow along, you can use the tutorial to get a Kubernetes cluster up and running. The other thing that you will need is you'll need to have Helm installed. We're going to be deploying both Traefik and Cert-Manager using Helm today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to make sure that you have configured your kubeconfig so that you can talk to your Kubernetes cluster if you haven't already done so. So in my case, I'm going to go ahead and use the newly created kubeconfig for the cluster that I just have set up. So if I go ahead and export my kubeconfig and then just make sure that I can talk to the Kubernetes cluster. So you can see in this example, I've actually got a highly available Kubernetes cluster. I'm running 3 master nodes and 3 worker nodes. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to clone a repository. It's a public repository, and you can see here it's on my GitHub page, and I've also got it linked in the documentation. So what this repository does is I've customized some of the value files for both Traefik and Cert-Manager to make some adjustments to make it easier for us to get up and running with this configuration today. I've also already cloned that repository, so you can see that I've got that repository cloned here, so we can change into that directory. The next thing that we need to do is we need to install Traefik. So we're going to install Traefik using Helm. So we'll add the official Traefik repository, and we can do that by, the official Traefik chart by running this command. And that's already installed in my setup, but if you don't have it, you'll get a added message. So the next thing we need to do is we need to update that repo. Now, I've already gone ahead and downloaded and made some adjustments to the values file, but if you want to look at any other configuration items that you may want to adjust, you can run this command to fetch all the values that are available to you to configure inside of Traefik. So if you copy this Helm show values command, you can redirect the output to a file, and you can go through all the configurations. So in fact, let me just go ahead and quickly show you what that looks like. So if we run this command, it outputs a file called /tmp values, and we can actually take a look at that. And you can see here, these are all the possible configurations that you can override when deploying Traefik. So I'm not going to go through each of these. Traefik is very well documented, and it also has a lot of features and functionality. So what I've done for this tutorial is I've distilled that down to just a handful of values that I know that we want to make sure are adjusted. So if you change into the Traefik directory, you will see a values file. And in here, I've made some changes. The first is I've disabled sending anonymous usage, and I've also disabled checking for newer versions. Again, these are optional settings that you could choose to leave enabled or set to true. The next argument is important in my configuration, which is this in secure skip verify equals to true. And what this means is if your intermediate application is not running TLS, it will not throw an error. So if we set up an ingress route where we secure it with TLS, and then we talk to a middleware or a service that's running in our Kubernetes cluster that may have a self-signed certificate, which a lot of applications do deploy in that manner, we don't want to throw an error message. So if you want to be very strict, you could set this to false and not skip that. But in my example, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that set to true. I'm also increasing the number of replicas, and I'm also going to go ahead and redirect any traffic that comes into port 80 over to TLS. There's also one note here that I want you to pay special attention to. So I've actually changed the ingress class name to Traefik external. So this can be any class name that you would like to give it, but just be sure that whatever you change it to here, you reference to later on when you create your ingress routes. I've also got MetalLB deployed in my Kubernetes cluster since I'm on a private network, and I'm going to go ahead and just select one of those IP addresses by specifying it here in the load balancer section. But if you're running this configuration in EKS or GKE, Azure's AKS. You can also use load balancers that are provided by the cloud services. You don't need to make these changes. You can go ahead and comment that out. If you have any more questions around MetalLB and how to use a load balancer in your private network, let me know, and I'm happy to create a quick tutorial on that. So now that we've gone through that, we can head back to the documentation. You can see here, we're just going to go ahead and install Traefik. We're going to deploy it into the Traefik namespace, and then we're going to pass it those value files that we just discussed. So let's go ahead and copy that. And the first thing that we'll actually want to do is we'll want to create that namespace. So we can create namespace Traefik, and then we can go ahead and deploy our Traefik. Oh, it looks like I misspelled Traefik. So let's go ahead and create that correctly. And then this time it should go ahead and install. So Traefik is pretty quick to deploy. So if we do a kubectl get pods in the Traefik namespace, you can see that they're already up and running. So now that Traefik's installed, the next thing that we want to do is we want to install a default set of headers. Again, this is an optional step, but I found that these default headers are required when talking to any of my, or a majority of my applications that run within my Kubernetes cluster. So we can take a quick look at these default headers, and these are probably familiar with you. Things like browser cross-site scripting filters, content no-sniff filters, etc. So again, this is an optional set of default headers that would just get applied to all our services. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that as well. So in my case, it was already deployed, which is why it's unchanged, but in your setup, that'll just go ahead and deploy. Great. So the next thing we need to do is we need to install Cert-Manager, and we're going to do that through Helm as well. So let's go ahead and add the chart from JetStack. So we can copy this, and then we can go ahead and update the repo again. Again, in my case, I'd already added the chart previously, so it mentions that we already have it existing in our setup. The next thing that we need to do is we need to take a look at the values file. So there are some adjustments. Since we're going to be using Cloudflare to provide our DNS validation, we want to make sure that it uses the Cloudflare resolvers. So if we change into the Cert-Manager directory, you can see this values file. And what I've done is I've made a couple of adjustments to set the DNS recursive name servers to use the Cloudflare servers. If you don't do this, you may run into some issues. It's not a necessary step, but I found that by setting these recursive name servers, it works 100% of the time. So once we close out of there, we can just go ahead and install our Cert-Manager. So we can copy this, and then let's go ahead and deploy Cert-Manager. Cert-Manager does take a few minutes, so I'll fast forward through this portion and come back as soon as it's deployed. Okay, so it looks like Cert-Manager has been deployed, and we can take a look at the pods just to make sure. So if we do a kubectl get pods in the Cert-Manager namespace, we can see that they are now all up and running. The next thing that we need to do is we need to create a secret for Cloudflare. So again, this whole tutorial assumes that you've got your domain hosted at Cloudflare, and once you have your domain set up within the Cloudflare portal, you'll want to make sure you go in there and create an API token. So you can do that by going into your Cloudflare account. You can head over into APIs and create a API token. The next thing that you need to do is we need to create a secret, and this secret will be referenced in our cluster issuers. In this case, we're going to be using lets-encrypt. So I'll quickly show you the secret file that I have already got created in my environment. So if we head into issuers and we take a look at the secret.token, you'll want to replace the token here with your token that you've obtained from Cloudflare. Now, when you set up the token in Cloudflare, just make sure that you have edit access to the zone file for your particular domain. Otherwise, it won't be able to do the DNS checks. So if you have any questions on this, just drop a comment and I'll maybe create another quick tutorial, but it's quite self-explanatory on how to create an API token inside of Cloudflare. So now that we've done that, let's just go ahead and apply that secret, and that secret is now created. The next thing that we need to do is we need to create some cluster issuers. Now, it's best practice that you start with staging to make sure that you haven't made any mistakes and to avoid any potential rate limiting in case you do make mistakes. Production does tend to block access, and it starts with increments of 4 hours. So if you don't get it right the first time, you may end up having to wait. For this tutorial, I'm just going to go ahead and use the production issuer, but it's the same steps, and I've got the the staging configuration as well as the production configuration available in the repository. So let's quickly take a look at the cluster issuer and make sure that you make adjustments here. You'll need to change your email, and then you'll also need to change your Cloudflare email address. And you can see here we're going to reference the token that was just created. So now that we've done that, let's go ahead and apply this, and we can see that the cluster issuer has now been created, and we can check to see if that has indeed been issued by Let's-Encrypt. So if we do a get on cluster issuer, you can see that our cluster issuer is indeed ready. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to create a certificate. But before we create a certificate, it's important to make sure that you've got a DNS entry for your fully qualified domain name already configured. So I've already gone ahead and mapped, in my case, I'm going to be using nginx.dev.dman.cloud to my IP address of the load balancer that was referenced earlier. So please make sure you have that set up before you create this certificate. So let's take a look at this certificate because you will need to make some changes in your local environment. So if we change into the certificates directory, I've also got two certificates. So I've got one for production, one for staging. Again, we're going to skip staging in this tutorial, but again, I strongly encourage that you go through staging and production just to make sure everything is working as expected. So in our case, let's head into production, and then we're going to edit this. So here you can see I've got a metadata name of nginx dev daemon cloud. Again, this could be anything. You can use your domain name here. The secret name, make sure that you keep track of this because we'll use this secret name when we create our ingress here in just a moment. And then you want to specify your common name and the DNS name. You can also do things like wildcard certificates, but in this tutorial, we're just going to stick to a single FQDN, in this case, nginx.dev.dman.com. So next, we just want to go ahead and apply that. So let's apply the certificate, and then we can follow along to see the certificate getting issued. So if we actually take a look at the pods in the Cert-Manager namespace, you can take the pod that's been created and have a look at the logs for this particular pod and follow along as your certificate gets issued. So you can see in this case, it's actually already been issued. It was issued faster than we could take a look at the logs. Another way that you can check this is you can actually do a get on the certificates to see if it has been issued, and if it's been issued, it'll set its status to true. So now that we have our certificate installed, the only thing that's left to do is to actually deploy our application. So for this tutorial, we'll just go ahead and use a sample nginx deployment. There's nothing special here. So if we take a look at the deployment, you can see that I'm just deploying nginx on the latest version with a single replica. I'm going to run a service, and it's just going to run on port 80. Now, the important configuration file that you will need to change is your ingress. So here we're creating an ingress using Traefik of kind ingress route. And earlier, if you remember, I mentioned we set our class name to be Traefik-external. So if you change that, please make sure that you update this. Otherwise, you will not get issued a proper ingress route. You'll also need to change your routes. So in my case, I'm configuring this for both www.nginx.dev.dman.cloud as well as just nginx.dev.dman.cloud. We're going to use that default header middleware that we'd set up earlier. And then again, it's important to make sure that you have the correct secret name defined here. So in our case, we called it nginx-dev.dman.cloud-tls. But if you change that for your setup, make sure that you replace that here as well. So let's go ahead. First, let's apply the deployment. Then let's go ahead and deploy the service. And then finally, we can go ahead and deploy that ingress. And we can take a look at the ingress route by doing a kubectl get on the ingress route. And we can see that it was deployed in the default namespace, and we called it nginx. So now if all worked well, we should be able to head over to our browser, and we should be able to head over to our fully qualified domain name. So nginx.dev.dman.cloud. And indeed, you can see we've got the welcome to nginx, and it is secure. And if we take a look at the certificate, we can see that it is using Let's-Encrypt. So that was a very quick tutorial on how to secure your applications with Traefik using Cloudflare. If you have any questions or if you require some further detail on any of these steps, please leave me a comment below and I will be sure to help you out. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe. It does help my channel. Again, thanks very much and have a great day.